One second. Yes, sir. We are live now.
Om Shanti and Namaskar. I would like to welcome all Anil's friends and family members to today's get together and a meeting to pay our respect and give our tribute to the wonderful soul of Anil, our great friend who was very popular among his friend circle. Uh, Before we start the meeting, I would like to thank my friend Mr. Anshuman Chaudhary and Amit for organizing all the technicalities and working out the poster for this occasion. The moment I told Anshuman ji about this idea, immediately he jumped to it, and he knew Anil ji. Well, who doesn't know Anil Tejani? A lot of people, everyone in films, they know him. And I want to thank this platform called Cinema for Screen, which organizes film festivals, and they interview film personalities, and also have workshops done on their platform. So this is the first time a tribute is being organized on this platform. Thank you very much, Anshuman sir,
It's my
and
pleasure.
I'm sure it will be a memorable experience for everybody. People, everyone loves Anil, and we all wanted to have a Shok Sabha and a tribute or a condolence meeting, whatever you call it. But because of the COVID pandemic, it was not possible. And Amrish, I discussed it with him, and thank you very much for having this meeting. Amrish, Anil, I know Anil always, whenever on the social media, I used to post our friends who have departed, their birthdays and their anniversaries. He used to like it. So I'm sure we have his approval today, and he must be enjoying watching. He's going to enjoy this whole experience on seeing his family members and friends all over. I can see his very, very special friend Meera. Lovely Meera, you're looking absolutely okay. And despite the traffic jam in Uganda, fine. And also Ravindra Pipat, the person who spent his last days and last minutes with Anil. Uh, uh, all of you, welcome. And Suni Taraporwala, Suni, welcome. I know despite
Thank
Navroz
you.
today, you've been able to take out time and you're here. Anshumanji, our friend Suni is a Padma Shri, and she is a very well-known scriptwriter and a filmmaker. And a filmmaker. Anil, I would tell you, Anil used to get so excited and he used to get so aggressive the moment Meera would make a new film or Suni would make a new film, and on he would go on posting on the on social media and ring up all the journalists, tell them to write. So so that was Anil. He used to call himself a retired filmmaker, but he was the most active guy, I'm telling you. Anyway, I can go on for hours, days and weeks, and probably whole year. If you tell me, you ask me to write books on Anil, I can write books on Anil. There's so much. But today's occasion is to meet his family members and his great friends. And Ramesh, welcome. Nice to see Ramil. And our sir Vikas Desai ji is also there, who had a long association with Anil. So I would, to start with, may I request Amrish to um, to give your to say what you want to say and give your tribute on behalf of the family. Amrish, about Anil Tejani, we would like to hear from you.
Thank you for arranging all this. Um,
Thank you.
uh, I'll give you a brief history of Anil. Born in 1949, he went to a number of schools, starting at Chembur, Our Lady of Perpetual Succor High School. He studied there for a few years, and then we shifted to South Bombay. So he went to St. Xavier's Boys Academy. In between, because of his mischievousness, he was posted to a boarding school at Pune School, Bishop's Cotton, and I think within 1 year he was disciplined like as in the army. All children are, and I think after that he started disciplining others, especially me. I used to be a little aggressive, towards my early teens, and he would slap me whenever I did something which was not correct. So I have to thank him for being like a father figure. And of course, then after that, I didn't need any more uh, uh, cajoling to be straightforward, because he slapped me so hard that I still feel the sting over here. And I would also like to thank.
I don't believe that, Amrish.
No, but I can vouch for this, that I can vouch for it that it has happened. Only 2 or 3 times in his life he must have slapped some people, and that one of them was with me. I don't know of any other person who would have slapped, but I did something really wrong, and he taught me a lesson at that time. After that, I've become such a Siddha person that there is no problem now. Even my wife will vouch for it.
Oh my God.
And I would like to thank all of you all for taking time out and sharing in various episodes and whatever else you all have to share. And I would also like to thank the family and friends for giving their heartfelt condolences. I'm sure every one of us miss Anil, but Anil, being such a person, I don't think he would want anybody to be serious about it, but to enjoy his life rather than the other way around, be sad over his demise. So I just hope we're going to enjoy his life and share the good moments we have had with him. Thank you.
Thank you, Amrish. I just want to add that this whole program is being recorded. So anybody needs the recording later on, we can always provide you the recording. And it is coming on Facebook, it is coming on Instagram, and on Facebook, on 2 different platforms it is there.
Yeah.
And
YouTube as
thank
well.
you. And YouTube as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, Amrish, you are absolutely right. Anil is not the one who would ever, being a great follower of Swami Rajneesh. To him, death was something to be celebrated. We spoke about it so many times, and it's not to be. And well, today's occasion is again. Let there be no tears. Let there be wonderful memories of Anil. Let's talk about. And to start with, may I invite the pride of India and pride of Anil Tejani, Meera. Meera is stuck in the car in a traffic. Yeah, but she'll go.
Suni also.
Yeah, Suni, I will come to. But let's start with Meera.
No.
Yeah.
Uday. I have Uday. I have very crackly sound. Sound okay?
It will get okay, Mr. Chaudhary. Mr. Chaudhary, just take care of the sound of.
Yeah.
I think it must be due to faulty Wi-Fi connection. Go near the router, and I think the sound will become okay. Okay. Anyway, Meera.
I am near the router.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. Meera, let's hear from you about your very, very special friend for such a long time and a great relationship you have had with Anil. And let's hear your views about him.
Thank you so much, Uday. Thank you, Amrish. I can't guarantee that won't be any tears because it's very hard to know that he's gone. So, but I was very lucky to years ago, and I recorded that, and I've been listening to it, and it gives me a lot of solace because Anil was like, you know, was like the sentinel. He was like the barometer for me and for all our friends, for all our filmmaker friends, for Suni, for Dinaz, for all of us. He believed in us, I think, so much that it gave us the courage to keep going on. And with every, I met him in 1983. I'll never forget. I was thanking Michael Camerini, a fellow filmmaker who had given me Anil's number to sell equipment of mine from my first documentary, and that's how I met him. And he was hardly a businessman, and I was hardly a businesswoman, so we had that in common. And but his he was the first person I also met from the Film Institute of Pune, and he just used to regale us with all the sometimes the funny things that he learned from the institute, and sometimes the really extraordinary kind of uh, ways to understand film narrative, to understand what film can do. So in a way, really, he was a guru to me, and he was a guru without ever taking on that mantle. I'm right now in Uganda. I've just where he was with me and with Suni. The time we just moved in here in 1991 in our new house. It was Anil there. We were working on a script of Buddha for weeks, and then he left the day our son was born. And
in our
I mean,
new
there's
house. It
so
was
many
Anil
moments.
there. We were working on the script of Buddha for weeks, and then he left the day
I would
our son
request if
was born.
So because he was a reservoir, really.
you can mute your audio, please.
I don't know if I'm in. Because he was a reservoir of wisdom and friendship but and total complete honesty. But the amazing thing was, as we all
Because he was
as we all know, the amazing thing about Anil, maybe I don't know if I'm creating havoc in a traffic jam, but maybe somebody else should go first. And oh, I think I'm all right. Anyway, so I just I just actually can't quite imagine this world without knowing that Anil is in Better Road or in Goa, and where I can just talk to him now. Since his passing, I've gone, like most of us, into so many of his messages, so many of his photographs, and it's amazing that almost every time he wrote, he just spread this love and this energy that he kept giving me, and it came with scoldings as well. It was not ever, it's just hook. He always just the clarity that he gave us all, and the affection and the absolute affection is never going to be forgotten. And I don't know, I thank all of you friends, and I especially love his family. I love his mom, auntie, and I just think maybe now Anil is with her and with all those he had lost. I just hope that he has them all with him, and look forward to being with him, really, and hope that our cinema, the things he left us with, will you know will will help us. It was really extraordinary. I just end with this, which I was struggling with my new screenplay, and everything he told me for 1 hour 10 days ago or 12 days ago was recorded, and I've in retrospect done exactly what he advised I should do. And it is just, it's an extraordinary lesson in his wisdom and his clarity, and also especially in his love of cinema and his love of all of us, because he never wasted a moment to help get to the root of the problem. So I just want to say that I'm sorry to take so much time, and but I love Anil, and he loved each one of us, and it is a very hard time really to know that he's gone. But thank you so much.
Thank you, Meera. Yeah, we understand the special relationship between you. It was such a strong bonding between you and Anil. Well, Anil is all around. Mini told me, Mini said, like, it's so sad he's not there. I said, no, 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 no. He's around. He's going to be around. We know. I've just written 2, 3 lines. I just want to say it. Acha, before that, Anshuman ji, on
Yes,
this
sir.
screen, only 10 faces can be there. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so
Yes.
keep just mute everybody. Only the person speaking can be there, and anybody who has spoken can continue with the meeting. They can watch the meeting, but you can let the newcomers get in. Anybody new person who comes in. Anyway, my Meera, my two
Sir,
lines.
I can do that. So I will
Yeah.
let you know if there's anywhere person is waiting in the waiting room. So
Okay. Okay.
accordingly, we can accommodate.
Acha, before we go to Peepert, who spent his last days and last moments with Anil, Peepert मैंने 2, 4 लाइनें लिखी हैं. अनिल, तुम जिस्म छोड़ गए पर हाथ नहीं छोड़ोगे. पार्टनर अनिल पार्टनर अनिल जैसे ऐसे भी हैं, संसार छोड़ गए पर कभी भी साथ नहीं छोड़ेंगे. Anil is not going to leave us. Anil is going to be there for rest of our lives. I'm telling you, he's a part of us and he'll remain a part of us. Okay. And your Peepert, आपका स्वागत है. And Peepert, tell us your last moments and last days with Anil. Yeah, Peepert. Peepert, unmute कर दो अपना sound. Huh? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're mute. Peepert, unmute करो. Peepert, unmute करो.
I will
Yeah.
do it.
Okay. Now. Yeah. Now.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
Now.
okay, sir.
Now. Yeah. Now it's okay. Start talking. Yeah.
Yeah, I said it's little hard narration of the last moments of my very, very close friend, and whom I met him in 1972, Institute days, and his partner, movie making, a lot of memories and everything. And then there was a little gap, but from 2012, we are meeting about 50 days, 70 days a year till 2021. And I have not seen such a clean man, a good friend, always helpful, ever smiling. He, I mean, treat to be with him, it's like, and I have fortunate enough to be around him, with him for the last 7, 8 years, for a very long time, very longer days. And as luck, even the last day. It so happened that he wanted to come to Bombay, and he has traveled many times with me via Pune, or he has gone to Goa via Pune with me. Even when he this time also when he reached Goa, he went with me only. And then I was coming back, and he said, "Okay, I will come back with you only because I don't want to travel by plane or by train or for some reasons of medical or something like that." He said, "I'm comfortable with you and I'll come with you." I said, "Okay." So a night before, we went to Thalassa for the sundowner. A night before, we were all again together at Vagator Beach for a walk. And he was taking care of himself so much. He was not having any beer for the last 2 months. He was having regular walk, yoga, everything. He was very careful. I mean, it was not that he was careless and something happened. He was very, very responsible. And then that particular day, uh, we uh, we started. He came in the morning at 8 o'clock, and we started for Pune, for Bombay via Pune. We always stay in Pune, and then very easy with joking, laughing, very easy, comfort drive. We uh, we stopped for lunch, we stopped for coffee, we stopped for another snack. It was all good, and we reached at about 6:30, 6:30, quarter to 7, home. And then he told me, he said, "Okay, I want to see some video of yours of the coastal Maharashtra that you had done some time back." I said, "Okay." Then I was showing him that video. Now, after showing one video after the other video, it came to Rishikesh and Haridwar ka Aarti. Now, I don't know how it cropped up. I went there for 2 years, about 2 years back. He has never seen that. But the last three videos that he saw was Haridwar Aarti, Rishikesh Aarti, Deprayaga. And after that, he had little meal. I mean, he had his own apple, appy, and something like that. And he told me, "Okay, I want to see more videos, but I would like 15 minutes, after 10, 15 minutes rest, I'll rejoin you." I said, "Okay." And then he goes to the bedroom. And after 5, 7 minutes, I hear some breathlessness. So I rush inside, and I see him coming out of the washroom and not feeling well. And he was getting breathless. I said, "What happened? Are you okay?" He said, "Give me the phone. I want to talk to my doctor." So I said, "Okay." I gave him the phone. He called up the doctor. The doctor gave the medicine. They said, "This is the name of the medicine." So I rushed down because the medical store is just at the gate. So, and I was back in 2 minutes. Veena was trying to tell him that, don't lie down, be awake, take breath and try to be alert and all that. But he was feeling from inside that, maybe it was a last moment. He told her, he was mumbling like, maybe this time I can't survive. This time I won't survive. Sorry. And uh, then he started losing, I mean, he was losing his breath, and he started lying down. I told him, I said, "Have the medicine, do this." He was just gone. And I called the neighbor, I called the ambulance, I called the doctors, and they reached, and they tried uh, with the machines, they tried to pump things, and 30 minutes, 40 minutes, okay, maybe the breath will come back, but it did not. I was shattered totally. I didn't know. I was shivering. I didn't know what to do. Um, I called Amrish. Amrish had had a talk with the doctor also at that time when he was pumping him and he was trying to revive him. And but it was all gone. And then then they came, and then I said two things, like that Aarti, because that Ganga and all that. No, he was a religious man. Whenever he used to travel with me to Hampi and all other places like that, whenever there was a temple, he used to tell me, "Okay, you wait for 5, 7 minutes to have some photographs here and there, but I'll go to the temple and come back." So that religious thing was in him, and maybe like that those three artis and all that. But he was in a very happy state. He told me economy is good, and share market is doing good, and I'm very happy that way. And he was not tired at all. He was so good. Well, I have never seen somebody just going like that. I mean, maybe angels go like that. And so, and Osho connection, maybe. I mean, there is some connectivity with this his last journey, that it had to end maybe in Osho's place, and where he was cremated also in Koregaon Park, where the ashram is. So, but I can't come out of it. And any minute, every second minute, I feel him. I see him around. I feel that he's there. So I think it will go on like this. And why shouldn't it go on like that? It should. And uh, that's it. That's it.
Thank you, Pipat. Thank you, Pipat. It was really very touching the way you described these last moments. We were not at all aware of it, and I think what the way you put it, he went smiling, he went laughing. उसका कुछ
Yeah.
कोई pain नहीं था. He didn't suffer.
No,
He didn't suffer.
no, that's what I
So,
said. Only angels
yeah.
go like this. I mean, no, nothing. And he was laughing and enjoying, and after 2, 3 minutes, he was not there. And that he was not in any kind of pain while he was getting breathless also. It was sudden, but it was very peaceful. Peaceful.
Okay, thank you so much. And now I'll come to our friend Suni. Please unmute yourself. Suni, please unmute yourself. And he was a great friend of Suni. They always worked together, and I'm sure he was a great advisor and a consultant to her. And so let Suni please talk about our friend Anil and what you have to say. In, what is your tribute?
Um, the sound is really bad. Can you hear me properly?
Yeah, we can hear
Can
you.
you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
Yeah.
you clearly. Clearly,
Okay.
yes.
Amrish, first of all, okay. Amrish, my condolences to you and your family. Like everyone else, I was shattered to get the news. And um, what can one say? It's such a lifetime of being with Anil. Um, Today's Navroz, and I think sometimes that Anil, besides being this and everything else, was also a real Parsi because Justice said happiness to those who give happiness to others. And Anil was really about that. He was generous. He had a large circle of friends, and he loved us all. And it's such an amazing quality to have. And when I think about when we first knew him, and he was directing, actually, I went to his Shingora set to take pictures of Persis Khambata. That time I was photographing for my book Parsis. And then a few years later, he had his heart attack and retired from filmmaking. Anybody else would have been shattered because he was such a consummate lover of cinema. But he took that and he turned it into this wonderful gift for all filmmakers. He was available to us 100% of the time, all the time. I think I took everything I wrote to him, and it was such pleasure to have someone really enjoy reading and discussing and really be happy about it. He used to tell me, "मेरे पास बहुत time है यार," and I would miss coming to Mount Unique and ringing the bell and seeing Anil at the end of the hallway and poking my head in and saying hello to Auntie, saying hello to Ambrish, and then going into his room and him saying chaloge, and the nashta would come out, the sev puri, the khakras, and I'd sit on his big bay window and we'd talk about the script. If I had borrowed books from him, he borrowed books from me. And uh, even when I made my two films as a director, he was so enormously helpful in every aspect of filmmaking. With Ye Ballet, he was really charged that I was making a kind of semi-Bollywood film, and he'd do music references for me. He'd teach me about antaras and mukras, which I had no idea about. I still have all his messages on WhatsApp and email, and I will just miss him terribly. But I'm really heartened that he had such a good passing, that he went so quickly, that he was cremated at the same place where Rajneesh was cremated. And he was a very, very spiritual person, much more spiritual than I am. And he taught me a lot about positivity, about spirituality. So I'm hoping and keeping faith that he's somewhere and he's going to continue looking after all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Suni. Wonderful. It was the way you put it. Yes, Anil was a very positive person and he was great at communication. Like he could communicate with anybody. Like I'll tell you, in my house, my wife talks to me in telegraphic language, few words here and there, that's it. But when she would talk to Anil, she would go on for 45 minutes, 1 hour, God knows what they talk. I'll tell you, there was such a good husband in him and there was such a good father in him. My children would talk to him for hours and he would talk to them on any topic. I was such a great advisor and very intelligent chap. I mean, yes, a loss for all of us. Sir, Vikas Desai ji, for you, he was a friend, but he always considered you as a Guruji. I think you played a very important role. You played an important role in grooming him as a filmmaker. And these three assistant directors of yours, I know I keep hearing those stories of Janu Barua, Arun Khopkar, and Anil. Sir, Vikas ji, about Anil.
Hi, folks. I mean, we're meeting in a very, very sad place, but let's not be sad. Let's be positive as Anil was. And I'll take you back to Anil before he became Anil Tejani that you know or you knew. I passed out from the institute in 69, and I don't know why. In 71, they called me to look after this batch and their first practical exercise. So Anil Tejani, Janu Barua, Arun Khopkar were all in that batch. Anil, I feel I take pride. Everyone has to take something positive in their life to go ahead. One of my positives is that I think I gave a lot of myself to these people. And somewhere inside me, or inside them, I was there. Just as inside me, Anil, Janu, Arun are all a part of my life. Anil, I remember the first day of the practical. All of you who know Anil will say how he used to walk. Do you remember how he used to walk? So slowly with his two arms going like that. Yeah. And I had to shout, Anil, you're on a shoot, man. You're not walking on the beach. Walk. Get some energy into your walking. And he would give me that smile of his, which was half sarcastic, half amused. And I say, yeah, yes, yes. And that was that. But as everyone has said so far, the shining quality that comes out of Anil is sincerity, honesty, brain, and a tremendous love for cinema, which we all have in common, this tremendous love for the medium. And as Meera has said, as Suni has said, even I used to call up and say, Anil, ye dekha kya tumne? Give me something, give me a lowdown of this film. I have not yet understood it. And then in the later years, he became my go-to person in terms of knowledge, in terms of seeking explanations of cinema. There's a very thing that I remember Anil as an assistant. In my ex-wife and my film Shak, Anil, Janu and Arun were our assistants, and each was given an assigned role, which they can talk to you. I would not like to talk about that assigned role because let them say it whenever you meet them. But Anil had an assigned role. As Suni said, there was a huge bay window in his house, and you could see the entire sea. And we were shooting Shak in the middle of the monsoon. And we had done our schedules. If it rains, we shoot these scenes. If it doesn't rain, we shoot these scenes. So every morning at about 8 o'clock, my telephone to Anil, what's the scene? And Anil was the official weather forecaster. He would say 1 minute. He would stand at the window, look at the sea, and say, "Aaj nahi barish hogi, re Vikas. Aaj nahi barish hogi." I said, "Great." Or suddenly, Vikas, आज 2 बजे के बाद बारिश होगी. And it used to happen. It used to happen. I don't know how, with experience and watching out, he had this uncanny thing of forecasting the weather. And in that, I see the uncanny way of building an experience. Anil built experiences which stood him in good stead, which stood us in good stead. Why? Because we could always refer to him, pounce on him and say, Anil, feed me. Anil, feed me. And he gave everyone. We believe, our Gharana believes in giving. And Anil was one of my खानदान की क्या खानदान नहीं बोलते उसको, तो परंपरा होती है ना, जैसे कि म्यूजिक की परंपरा होती है कि घराना, मेरे घराने का एक चिराग था वो, बिल्कुल. And I was very proud of it. You can't imagine the amount of proud and pride and love I felt for Anil. And you can't understand this unless you become a guru or a teacher and you see yourself and your disciple going ahead of you, going so much ahead of you, and that gives you that ultimate spiritual satisfaction which Anil gave me. Amrish knows how close we were, though we never met so often, but how close we were. And I've got nothing more to say. I think I'm missing a very important part of myself with the going of Anil. Thanks.
Yeah, Arun, you're right, absolutely. Even Janu Barwa said the same thing, that a part of us has gone away, a part of us has disappeared. Yes, it's very true. Yes, a part of us has gone away. It's sad. But when you start thinking about this gentleman called Anil Tejani, you don't feel sad. You feel happy. There are full of positive stories about him. One day I told him, Anil, you've done so much for me, yaar. I got to work with Meera Nair because of you. I got to work with Gandhi because of you. I got to join DKP because of him. So I counted about 3-4 favors. He counted about 13-14 favors, what I have done to him. So I said, that's how our relationship has worked, because we never worked with expectations. So he was one guy who never did things for people with any expectation. He would just give. And that is what made him very special. Anyway, sir, from director cut to the producer, Mr. Vikram, your producer, sir. Vikram ji, unmute करिए अपने आप को, please unmute.
वही मेरा कुछ गड़बड़ लग रहा है.
नहीं हो गया. No, we can hear you now, sir. No, you have been.
You can see me.
Yeah, we can see you, and we can hear you. You have been unmuted, sir. For the first time, I came to know from Vikram sir that Anil was into distribution also. He used to buy films.
Yeah. And, he was in distribution. So that's how I met him first.
Yes, sir. Vikram sir, what do you have to say about Anil?
I had an office in Nariman Point. I met him that time, and before that, I met him twice. Yeah, before that, I met him thrice with Shah Rukh Apna Mirza. With him, I met him thrice, and after that, I met distribution. But we were always planning to meet, and we met only in my life, I think so. With Anil, I met maybe 3 or 4 times, but the impact was there. Ye milte hain, and with Shah Rukh, I said milte hain. And I'll tell you now, actually, believe me, last 2 months back, I saw some photographs with you. Then I was thinking, yaar, milna chahiye and all that. So what him? But like ab mile, tab mile, ultimately nahi mile. But whatever I met him thrice or 4 times, but the impact is there with me, and he was very nice, very
We lost your sound. I think it's gone suddenly muted. Its audio is out. Anshuman ji?
Yes, sir.
Audio is out. Okay,
sir actually muted his audio.
Chalo, we'll get back to him. Now, cut to, I would say, a lovely match cut to our wonderful friend, Ramesh Cardos, who also, like Peepert, has been very, 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 very close to Anil. And probably responsible for setting up Anil in Goa. And Ramesh was our editor, and now he's one of the leading builders of Goa. Ramesh, welcome. Let's talk. Let's hear from you about our friend Anil.
Hi, good evening, everyone. So, I met Anil when I was around 25. I know I'm not expected to cry, but I'm happy to cry because I think I lost a family member. I met him when I was absolutely raw or total novice, and I had lost my father and mother early in life. So Anil was God sent. He literally became my father and mother. Any advice I need, any emotional strength I needed, he was there. I cannot believe how blessed and honored I am to have met Anil. It's a divine thing that happened in my life. He, 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 I was into films anyway by default. I moved to Goa, and one of the first trips I made to Goa was with him, in fact. And then, of course, I got into a different line of business, but he continued. He was one of the first people, without me knowing any bit of construction, to put money into buying an apartment with me. And all the things that it did for me, it's just too much to express, And at this point, I am a Goan, and there's a lot of nature here. But I think I learned from Anil how to look at the moon, how to sit in silence, to watch the waves, how to have a balanced career, how to not be over ambitious. I'm happy to say, because of him, I almost retired at the age of 45 to have a very good balance of life, to understand that money is not everything and ambition is not everything. And we've had some great moments. He used to come to the village, my village, spend a few days. And I must say, he was so prepared for that. So many of our discussions were on death. And I could see that he said every fear in life comes because of the fear of death. And you have to try and eliminate it, Ramesh. So I could see that he never feared death. And all these things, what he taught me, stay with me, and I miss him a lot. That's all I can say at this point.
Yeah, thanks, Ramesh. We would like to hear more because you were with him from step to step. Like you were so together with each other, and I know you gave me the full step by step history of what happened to him in the last 1 month. He's not been keeping well, but not many people know that Anil had a major heart attack 25 years back in Goa. And it is his positivity, it is his love for life, and it is because also he gave full credit to his Guruji, his yoga Guruji, who really made him fit. He's so fit that Anil could swim faster than me. Anil could walk faster than me. I thought I was a strong guy, but no. He had become so good. But well, I'm happy that those 25 years he spent, and it was such a great experience for all his friends around him. We got so much from him. Wonderful. But sir, Anshuman sir,
Yes, sir.
where is Minnie? Minnie is also there, na? I think she's waiting to get in
No, sir.
to the studio. Okay,
No,
where
sir.
is Minnie? I think she must have gone to YouTube, I think, probably. So she should,
Prob-
Minnie, if you're there, you should click on the StreamYard. That's how you will join. Anyway, well, let's continue. I mean, it's wonderful. Meera, we would like to hear more from you. I mean, there is so much, I'm sure, lovely things about Anil. Please, if there's anything more you want to say, please go ahead. Meera? Meera or Amrish, you want to say anything? Meera, can you hear us? Meera, can you hear us? No, she
Yeah,
got
she lost.
disconnected.
Yeah.
She got lost it. Amrish, you would like to say anything? Vikas sir, you would like to say anything else? Vikram sir, you would like to say anything?
I would just like to say, speak to Amrish. Amrish, my condolences to you and your family. But one thing is that we have lost a very good friend, and and we will always remember him. And all these institute walas are there, and nobody can forget Anil. Thank you. Really.
Okay, wonderful to have our classmate and a very good friend of Anil, Janu. Janu Barwa, thank you so
Hello,
much,
hello.
boss. You said you will be late.
I
You will
came
late,
late.
but
I
come.
came
You will
late.
definitely come. कोई बात नहीं, कोई बात नहीं. You better late than never, man. Okay, Janu, you are also tremendous with the way you describe things. Tell us about Anil, please. We would like to hear from you.
First of all, I must say that I'm very thankful to our classmate Uday Shankar Pani and also
Yes, yes,
all
yes.
of you for organizing this meet. And I don't know how to express my feelings today. At Anil's demise, I really felt a part of me going away. It has been quite. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear
we
you.
can, loud and clear.
Yeah, I really felt a part of me going away, and it has been quite suffocating for me. And really, I of course, I want to share a few things, some of my feelings, and everything is not possible today because I don't like to take time. Others also have to. I want to hear from others. And if I have to go back in time, 5 decades ago, how I would like to remember Anil. 5 decades ago, when I got selected for the direction course at the FTII, Anil was the first one from our class to meet. I met. He was the first one I met, and when I was standing in the queue for medical exam before admission. So since then, we have become friends, very close friends, and our friendship grew, and it was almost it has been almost inseparable. I really enjoyed that friendship, and that is one of the most beautiful things that had happened in my life. And I don't know as a friend what I could give him, but it is sure that what Anil gave me, it is something out of the world. And if I have to summarize it, I just would like to put it this way, that he gave me the world of confidence and positivity, which I very badly and very urgently needed when I got into institute for the first time. And it was a new world for me. So he came to me as almost as some kind of say a moral booster. And all the time he kept giving me confidence. And it's not only me, actually, that later he has been it's almost like a family member to me. He has been constantly in touch with my family, my wife, Gayatri, and also my Ozu. We have one son, Ozu. And he used to all the time encourage him all the time. For example, say, what you may like to know that, see, football is one thing which is unthinkable for Anil. We can't think of Anil with football. But whenever he used to get any kind of information about football, he used to immediately send that information to my son, Ozu, who is very much passionate about football. So he's that kind of person. I would say very simply, we can put it this way: the Anil is one person who lives in the hearts of all the people he knew, and that is the kind of amazing quality he had. He doesn't, looks for friendship. People come to him to be friends. And if you permit me, I want to share something with you. Do I have a time?
Yes,
sir.
please,
Continue.
please go ahead.
Yeah, one of the most beautiful experience which I never shared with anyone except my wife and my parents. See, after institute, when we landed up in Bombay, and we were assisting, Anil, me, and Arun Khokkar from our class. We were assisting Aruna Vikas, our seniors, for their debut film, Shak, that was starring Vinod Khanna and Shabana Azmi. And off and on, we used to have this schedule of work, shoot. And I used to stay in Marine Drive that time, and in Ganga Vihar. If our another senior, Rani Bura, Chinna, she's popularly known as Chinna, 1 year senior class. She had done screenplay writing, and I must say that she was also one of the nicest human beings I have ever met. She gave me shelter in Bombay for 8 years. So I was staying in that house, in their house. And what was happening that, Chinna and their family, her family, those days, they used to be mostly in Delhi. So the whole house I was staying alone in that house in Marine Drive, alone. And we used to meet, although we didn't have work. We used to meet at Vikas's place. We used to talk about cinema and also about the schedules and all, about the future schedules. And regularly we used to meet. And once what happened, I was not going. I was not going to those meetings. Actually, I was not well. And I didn't tell any of them. So what happened, Vikas asked Anil, happened to me, why I have not been going there. So Anil called me, and I was very sick. He immediately came to know from my voice that I was not well. Then in half an hour's time, he came to my place to Ganga Vihar, and he saw me. Absolutely, I was terribly sick. Then what he did, he immediately called home. He called his mother. And then from the other end, his mother told him to shift me immediately to their house. So that way, immediately he took a cab and then took me to their house, to Anil's house. The first persons actually I saw in their house was his mother, and standing almost at the door with the family doctor. And immediately, with mother's instructions, and Anil gave his room to me, and he himself shifted to his brother's room, Amrish's room, and that is one thing. That is the kind of I don't know what I was feeling that time. For 15 days I stayed in that house, and such love and care, particularly from his mother. I started calling her auntie, and almost every hour, she used to check whether everything is okay with me or not. And finally, when I got cured, I got fully cured, and I didn't know how to be grateful to that family, that house, to my friend Anil, to his mother. So I was so much overwhelmed, and not only that, thousands of miles away in Assam, my parents, they were so touched, hugely touched by that. And my mother was so touched. And then my mother kept sending her, fresh packet of teas for her very regularly after that. So anyway, what I said, this is one experience. It's an experience of humanity, which today I would like to say that in today's world, it is absolutely unthinkable. And that experience, that is something which I will never forget in my life. And that experience also, that has taught me so much. And I was that time, actually, I was scared of Bombay. And that experience, gave me a whole lot of confidence to live in Mumbai. And if I want to add something in a lighter note, which I really want to share. See, when I had that experience, his mother's love and care, and she was such a divine lady. The moment I used to look at her face, I used to start feeling, I started feeling guilty of something I was. I must tell you that when we were in the institute, FTII, Anil was he was a strict vegetarian. I am a non-vegetarian. So quite often we used to go to the Good Luck restaurant in Deccan Gymkhana to have dinner. So while having our meals, mostly actually that he used to look at me, say that, why people eat non-veg? All the people in the world actually should be eating only vegetarian, should become vegetarian. So that was giving me some kind of challenge in me. So I kept thinking that one day I will make you a non-vegetarian. So it didn't take much time. So in 6 months' time, slowly I succeeded and to make him non-vegetarian. It started with the gravy first, then a few chicken pieces and all. And later he used to tell me that the breast piece is better than the leg piece. So like that, he started, enjoying that non-veg meal. And when I came to Bombay, and when I started having this experience at his family and then his mother especially, when I looked at her face all the time, I used to feel guilty of making her son non-vegetarian. And I was really feeling guilty. Then since then, actually, I kept telling him that, I used to encourage him to go back to vegetarian, but he continued to be a non-vegetarian. And not only that, when he was regularly staying in Goa, I used to visit him quite often. He taught me to see fishes. And initially I was allergic to sea fish. So he taught me to see fish. So that time, I was feeling more guilty. So then it went on like that. And one day, finally, much later, many years later, he called me one day to say, Janu, I have become strictly vegetarian again for my mother's sake. So that day I was feeling very relieved, relieved that, at least out of that guilt. So anyway, that is the kind of experience I had, a very beautiful experience like that. And if I start talking about those moments, I don't know where to stop, where to start. And I would like to hear from others.
Janu, thank you so much. And we'll come back to you. There is so many. I'm sure you're full of more interesting stories. And in fact, we would like to get back to Meera also. But I find Muni Kabir there. Muni Kabir, again, a very, very close friend of Anil. And here we are. Achha, before I come to Muni, we are right now, this is being streamlined on 2 platforms on Facebook. And there are almost like 50,000 people, 50,000 views right now we have for this program. So let me tell all those people who are watching us, this frame of 8 people is full of great filmmakers, wonderful filmmakers. Janu is probably, I don't think any other Indian filmmaker has won so many international awards. And Meera, pride of India. My pride of India. Vikas is our Guruji, Guruji of all, and Ramesh, everybody, there are wonderful filmmakers. So that's for the Facebook audience. But anyway, Muni, please unmute yourself and tell us your views about our wonderful friend Anil. Your friend, our friend, everyone's friend.
Yes, I must say that when I got the email from Minnie, I was really very, very upset and very disturbed. And then I've been thinking about him for the past few days, and I really believe something is that in many ways, all of us, were kind of selfish friends because we looked to him for advice. We didn't always understand how he managed his own life. I mean, I would often ask him, how did he manage being alone? Because solitude is a very difficult thing. It's a very difficult thing. And he used to always smile and say that he had no problem. He was never bored and he was never alone. And I always felt that he was like a guardian angel to all of us, and we could phone him anytime, and he would give us advice, and he would also tick us off. If there was something I did that he didn't like, my work or something like that, he had no problem about telling me, oh, Nasreen, that is no good. He called me Nasreen, and he used to say, Nasreen, that's not so good. And he was always, I felt he had a big disappointment in me in one thing. He always said I should do a biopic of Gurudat because I've written so much on Gurudat. And I said, no, I didn't think I could do feature films. And he used to say that I was talking a load of rubbish and so on. But the fact is that he was always, gave you the feeling that you could believe in yourself. And that's very few people can do that, because whenever you are talking to most people, they are thinking about their own life and their own experience. They're not thinking about the other. And Anil was an amazing listener. He listened to people and then he would actually talk to and direct his points to certain points to people. And he knew the strengths of people and he knew their weaknesses. And I would say we have lost a very unique friend, because he was somebody who just mastered the whole notion of friendship. He mastered it. I don't think in our lifetime that we master it so well, because we're very busy with our work and we're busy mastering photography, cooking, cleaning, anything you want, or filmmaking. And as you say, so many filmmakers here, but we don't master friendship. And this is a man who mastered it, who understood it. And I have never ever heard him say one bad thing about anybody. And even if he would be annoyed about somebody, or he would think they had not phoned him up, or they never meet him. Many friends had not met. We don't meet so much. And he never actually voiced any disappointment. And I think the question of him being such a great listener was a big, big thing. And he appreciated people, and he appreciated different aspects of people. I'm not saying that he didn't accept the whole, but he never looked for flaws. He didn't look for what was wrong with you. He looked for what was right with you. And I don't see many people on this planet who do that. They don't give people that much time. And Anil was generous with his time. The last time we met was in Goa, and his friend from France, Agnes, had took us some lovely pictures of us, which I had sent Mira. I'd sent Mira one of those photos, and you can see the smile that he has on his face, a most extraordinary smile, and a very genuine smile. And obviously, we're all going to miss him, but I don't think we're going to meet that level of generosity, which is spiritual, but it's also a rare understanding of what human relations are. And I don't think people really master this. And I know I've been going on, but that's what I feel. And I really am very grateful to Minnie, because she made sure I know about it. Then she could tell I was very upset when I heard, very upset. And then she called me, and then we chatted. And I thought, Anil has taught us to be more humane with each other. And I hope that's a lesson we won't forget. And I also want to thank Minnie, because when I couldn't join your studio right now, she was emailing me to send me a way of how I could get in, so I could say what I thought. And I don't know what else to say, but I think we are all richer because of knowing Anil, and I hope we will never forget that. And take something of his personality, and that is his generosity of spirit and his generosity of accepting people for exactly who they are. And that's all, Uday. I don't know. I haven't seen you for ages, and that's what I feel about our loss.
Thank you so much, Nasreen. I think a wonderful analysis of Anil, and we all agree with whatever you say. That's Anil. I mean, great generosity, and he would help you. I don't know how we do come to know that somebody needs help. He would help people without anybody asking him. I remember when I bought my first house, he just came with money to me. Like, take for your house. I did ask for it. So that's being a friend in need always. And I remember once, he made a film, and on the partner, I cut the trailer, and he liked the trailer. And at that time, 81, 82, he came and gave me 5,000 rupees for making a trailer of his, because of the trailer, he could sell the Eastern Territory. So that was him, like nobody. I mean, he was generosity and empathy, and feelings for others, and wonderful. Okay, Minnie came, and I saw Minnie. I wanted Minnie back, but Minnie disappeared. But anyway, we all want to listen to Mira. Mira, say some more from you about
I just want
our
to
Anil.
I just want
No,
to
audio. Yeah, please.
I just want to thank really Nasreen and Muni Kabir for her absolutely astute and incisive words and emotions that really are the same for me and for so many of us. And I also, looking at the screen, I look at the people that Anil introduced me to, from years ago. I remember Aruna Vikas. I remember he brought me to your home and to your set, and I met the whole team that we're talking about today. I met Janu Barua so many times. Janu, it's just so amazing to do. And of course to Nasreen and this once Anil introduced us to his circle, that circle became our circle, and it was extraordinary how that circle actually kept building. But the unique thing about him was that he that you could always go to him. He also never wasted his time, nor did he waste yours, in terms of getting to the heart of the matter in whatever you were seeking from him at the time. uh, anyway, I just wanted to thank Moni for being here and for sharing. What an extraordinary soul, really, that we have known. And for the circle that he invited us all to be a part of, which was his world. Um, that's it for now for me. But is Dinaz there? I saw her as well, and it
Yeah,
would be
we're
lovely.
waiting for Dinaj. And Meera, I'm the lucky one. Anil has given me all his scripts, all his television and feature films. So I'm blessed, that he's given me all his scripts. I've studied them, and some of them I'm going to use them. But Amrish, I'll let you know whenever. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure, Vikas, we would like to hear some things from you. Janu, come on.
Yeah, hi.
More about Anil here. Come on, you're full of stories about Anil. Come on.
Oh, many, innumerable. Should I share something again?
Bolo na yaar.
Really?
Anil's
No,
roll number was
what I
Anil's
liked
roll
about
number.
Anil actually
Yeah,
that,
good.
one thing actually that whenever I used to feel sad about something or depressed or of course I never got depressed, but even if some kind of on the verge of getting depressed or something, you feel sometimes you don't feel nice, don't feel happy and all that. I found out since institute itself, I found out the way to come out of it, overcome it. You just have to call Anil, or you just have to meet him. That's all. Just have to meet him. So he's such a person. He instantly gives you some kind of positivity in you, and you get charged immediately. So first one thing actually because initially I used to be quite serious person, serious in my own way, but he brought in the light, that lighter aspect in me. When we were in the first year, since then we had been together as friends. And then second year, just before second year, yeah, the Olympic Games in Munich had taken place in 1972. And we are discussing about Olympic gold medals, who the winners and all sorts of things, about gold medal winners. Some of the athletes, they used to win, a whole lot of gold medals, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 even. Some swimmer got 8 medals like that. So I was mentioning to Anil, so look at these people actually that they work so much. They win gold medals like this. It's amazing. So what he said, he said, हम लोग जा रहे थे, पैदल जा रहे थे, गुड लक रेस्टोरेंट जा रहे थे. He said, क्या हुआ? Some athlete I was mentioning, he had won about 4, 5 medals, gold medals. So I said he was a runner. So he said, ये 5 मेडल के लिए कितने साल उसने प्रैक्टिस किया, तू बता. So I said, must be about 10-15 years. Then he told me, look, 10-15 years, 5 गोल्ड मेडल के लिए मैं 1 घंटे में जावरी बाजार जाके लेके आ सकता हूँ. जावरी बाजार से 1 घंटे में मैं 5 या 10 मेडल लेके आ सकता हूँ. इतना झंझट क्यों करने का? हाँ, काहे का इतना ये भाग दौड़ करने का एक गोल्ड मेडल के लिए? क्या यार, what kind of life we are living? So he's that kind of person. He brings everything into such a lighter mode. You start feeling really feeling very nice. That life is nothing. It's just it is something to only to cherish, only to enjoy.
Yeah,
That's
great
kind of
Janu.
Anil
Yeah,
always.
yeah, great Janu. Our wonderful mini Dinaz is here. Dinaz, welcome. And I know how strongly you feel about Anil, how much you miss him, and the great relationship you had between yourself, between you and Anil. We'd like to hear about what memories you have about Anil and some interesting anecdotes about Anil.
Thank you so much, and my deepest wishes to the Tejani family and to Nimisha for letting me know. Nimisha, you started something which just has taken so much of my time getting in touch with all the people who love him, because as soon as I heard the news, I suddenly found everybody's face coming into my mind, all the people who loved him and needed to know about this. So even up until today, I was letting Asif Kapadia and Harish Amin know, because as Muni points out, Anil Tejani was a wonderful friend to so many people, but it wasn't always everybody else staying in touch with him. I'll never forget that when I first met Anil, Meera Naya had met me in the States and had said, look, why don't you come to Bombay to work on this film, Salam Bombay? And I arrived and she introduced me to Anil. She said, this is Minnie, who I was talking to you about. And Anil met me. And after about 5 days, he came to me and he said, you know, Minnie, I owe you an apology. Because when Meera told me that she's going to bring you down to work on this film, I thought she was crazy, because, you know, here was this, he saw me as a girl from New York coming to Bombay, and it was such a tight budget that he thought it was a real waste of money. So he said, you know, this was something I was really wrong in. So he began in such a humble state, because when our relationship began, it began with him bigging me up, and I didn't know anything about film. I was just there as a psychologist. And he just gave me so much confidence and said, no, you know, I'm so glad that you have joined the team. And that started a lifelong friendship, which has gone on even now. I feel it. All the friends, all the people that are in my heart, many of them were in his heart as well. And he always, whenever we talked, he would always ask me about everyone, how they were doing. And I would always be exchanging stories with him about the people that he loved. So really, I think he went very well. I think he had a really good parting. It's just us who are left here with a sort of Anil-shaped gap in our hearts. You know, we shouldn't feel too bad because he's gone. As Amrit says, it's time to move on, because he wants us to be happy. And he used to tell me, and he told a lot of us when he turned 70, he said, you know, guys, I proved that this heart attack was something that I could overcome. So now that I've reached 70, I can die anytime. And those were his exact words. I can die anytime. He was happy to go, you know. And just the week before he went, I was telling him, you know, this lockdown is great because you know, I can meditate a lot. And he said to me, now it's my turn to go inwards. I promise, I've been saying it for all this time, but I really, really feel that now is my time to go inwards. And he always used to say to me, you know, Dinas, my only regret, he says, I'm not like you. My only regret is I don't have a guru to sit at the feet of. And so he managed to get both his wishes. He went very well. He went very fast. He went after 100 wonderful days in Goa, which he really enjoyed. he when he was exercising, he used to call me and he told me about his problems, and I would talk to him about how not to exert his heart and how to walk slowly and continuously. He would say, Minnie, you are my doctor. And he would talk about how much better he felt. So in many ways, I think that this was his exit strategy. He went a good way. He used to, in the old days, because both he and I were single, we used to say we were starting Club 65, which was Club 65, which was that we will stay single until all of us are 65, and then at 65 we'll join up with each other so that we can be there as friends for each other. Because we used to laugh that whenever we told people we don't want to get married, they would say to us, but what will you do when you are 65? So my answer to everybody who was part of Club 65, that we are always there for each other. And I think that this coming together, Pani, you have shown that you are also part of this Club 65 where everybody is there for each other. And thank you for helping organize this send-off.
Well, it happened. It had to happen. It happened. And thanks to all the wonderful people. Anyway, I would say, and it's 8:20, so another 10 minutes to go. So for 10 minutes, let's hear. Very Nimisha is trying to get in. Nimisha has been trying to get in. Nimisha says, "Sir, 10 log aa sakte hain na? I think there are 9 of us. You just try if Nimisha is there. Let's get her in."
So now she can join. If they send the request, we can accommodate.
Okay. Yeah, Nimisha is the niece. Lovely. But come on, Ramesh, and where is Vikas Desai sir? Disappeared. Okay. Chalo. Chalo. Okay, Ramesh. Anything else you want to say about Anil? Come on, you also are over. Oh, there she is. Oh. Okay, no, I'm not speaking today. Okay, Nimisha is not there. Okay. Anyway, Ramesh, bolo. What your Goa memories? Anil memories. You have to unmute yourself. जिसको unmute कर दीजिए अंशुमन जी.
1 second. Yeah, unmute किया हुआ है.
Yeah, thank you. I just remember another incident. I was having an early dinner with Anil at a well-known place called Brito's on the beach at Baga. This was about 7-8 years ago, 10 years ago. And we were early, it was before sunset. And suddenly a friend of mine, somebody I knew well, he had gone on to become a very big fund manager. He had moved to Hong Kong. And he and his friend came and sat next to us. And he was originally from Bombay, this friend. So we started talking, and this friend was going on about how dirty Goa is, and then he eventually after 20 minutes or so, he was pointing out the garbage outside the restaurant Brito's, which was on the beach, and then Anil couldn't take it anymore, and he said the problem is in your eyesight, the problem is in your vision. All you have to do is lift up your eyes and you'll see the sunset, and you'll miss the garbage. The choice is yours. So that's what Anil was. Yeah. So in short, he sort of really educated me on making this kind of important distinctions in life, which I will treasure and carry till the end of my times. Thanks,
Ramesh. Now, may I invite one of our very, very close friend and very special friend to Anil, Kamaljeet. We call him Kuku. And Kuku, you're welcome. And I remember when I told Kamaljeet the news of Anil's demise, he just burst into tears. He was crying like a baby. And there were so many other people who cried, And I think time to celebrate, time to now talk our lovely positive stories about Anil, how he inspired all of us. And I'm sure the kind of stuff we are talking about, Muni, I think you're in for another article or a book on Anil. Okay. Chalo, Kuku, welcome. Aao Kuku, bolo. Kamaljeet.
Thank you. I'm sorry I joined late because वो मेरा एक इन्वेस्टर आया हुआ था जो इन्वेस्ट करता है मेरे लिए, तो मैंने उसको टाइम दिया तो I forgot. But when he came, I wanted to cancel the appointment, but like you said, कि gold medal 5 जो है मैं खरीद के ले आऊंगा, तो he wouldn't have minded my talking money and finance and then joining. So I took that liberty. Well, Anil and I go back to the Institute times, and it's been a wonderful, very close friendship. I always told him, why did he leave Bombay? But then he had his own thing. He kept telling me to come to Goa now. And I had all plans, and I started looking for places where, a 2-room thing. And my children got very excited that we'd be going. One of my son is an artist, and Anil really liked his work. In fact, they stayed with Anil, and he left a sketch, and that was Anil's favorite sketch. So I had almost selected a property, and boys were very happy. And then, of course, Uday told me about this incident, and they keep asking me, when are you buying it? I said, no, I don't want to go to Goa now. I don't want to go to Goa. So I'm going to miss him. Well, we all miss him. God bless him. Amrish, hi.
Chalo, Goku.
I'm seeing Amrish after years. You look the same.
Yeah, Kuku, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Well, we are there. You want to come back? You want to say something more? You're most welcome. Now, I just want to have a surprise guest. That's my wife. She's been very close to Anil, and their favorite topic was yoga. And there is something she would like to talk and to tell her. I think the last conversation she had was over in 1 hour. Okay, just a second.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hello.
Hello. Can you hear? Anshumanji, can I?
Anshumanji, can you hear me? Anshumanji, can you hear me?
Yeah.
It's not there.
Good second. Hello. Anshumanji. हेलो
सर सुनाई दे रहा है
अच्छा या सुनाई दे रहा है आप बात कर सकते
हैं
एक्चुअली ओरिएंटेशन या सर ओरिएंटेशन या
ओके बोलिए
या Anshumanji, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
yeah. I had a very good experience. I mean, just during the lockdown time, he just called me and I had a talk with him for 1 hour. He said, what are you doing during lockdown time? I said, I'm taking online classes. He said, very good. And what else you're doing? I said, I'm writing 3 books on the yoga and acupressure and this. He's advised me, don't write 3 books simultaneously, write one book, complete it, don't put more photographs in that, it will cost you more and what not. I mean, he was such a good advisor. And then it became whenever we have any argument with Pani, I said, it became a joke in our eyes, go and ask Anil. Whatever he says, you just follow that. So it became a joke. Anything happens, my children, go and ask Anil uncle. He will tell you the right thing. Don't ask mama. It's like that. So what a lovely human being he is. Anytime I call him, he will just give me advice for 1 hour. Do this. And he'll tell Pani that whatever Bhabiji said, you just follow her. Sure. Lovely person, lovely human being. I really miss him.
Okay. Chalo, I think she misses her biggest support. he was Anil was a great support to my wife and she misses him. Yeah, okay. I mean, this is something यार, कुछ भी घर में झगड़ा हो जाए अनिल से पूछो. अनिल जो बोलता है चलो वो अनिल गलत बोलेगा तो गलत है, वो सही बोलेगा तो फॉलो हिम. Okay, so this was a favorite line of her. All right. Okay, Amrish, would you like to sum up today's meeting and anything you would like to add to whatever you heard and whatever you would like to say? Amrish. Amrish.
Yeah, thank you.
Please sum up. Yeah. And
thank you, Pani and Anshumanji. Sorry, I didn't call you Pani ji, but I've always known you as Pani. Thank you for arranging the get-together, and thank you for everyone who participated in it. And actually, I think Anil's life was his friends and his family. So all of you have contributed in your own ways in making his life a very pleasant journey, a memorable experience. And I think he never missed being married. It's all because of all his friends and relatives. And I think all through his life, all of you all have been a great source of support. I'd like to thank Peepert, Ramiz. I mean, there are so many, Vikas ji, and there are so many people, Viraji, Vinaz, people who not only have kept him like jovial or whatever, but have shaped his life in some way or the other. And I think more than he changing or he helping you in your lives, I think you all have helped him in living a life which I think he was very happy living. And our whole family would like to thank you all for your condolences. But remember that we should not be sad, we should be happy that he's lived a full life. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Amrish. Thank you, everyone. But before we wind up, I would just like to remind everybody that we had a classmate called Rahul Dasgupta, and he was passing through very difficult times. And Anil made him stay in his one apartment in Juhu for almost like 2 years, and then he instructed me, you make sure that he gets food at the right time. So we used to get him food. So the Anil was full of all this, but he never bragged about all these favors, and he helped everybody. And well, that's I think Anil deserves another meeting to attribute to discuss all his wonderful things. We'll do it again. And till then, thank you very much, everyone. Anshumanji, and your
Thank you very much, sir.
screen for screen for
Cinema for screen, sir.
Cinema. इसका नाम अभी change करके मैं Anil for screen कर देता हूँ. Okay. This whole platform was Anil for screen. And Peepert, Amrish, Mini, first time I heard about Anil's demise was from London. One journalist called me up from there, and he says, your friend is not there. And that was the first time I heard about. So he was just not known in India. He was a global figure. Everybody knew him. And Nasreen, so nice the way you analyzed him. So nice. I mean, we agree with each and every word of what you said. And Ramiz boss, I know a part of us is gone, but he's there. He's around us. He's there. He's enjoyed today's. Anil has enjoyed today's meeting, and I'm sure he's looking forward to another meeting so that I can get some more people. Okay. So thank you very much, everyone. Until we meet again.
Thank you very much.
Om Shanti and Namaskar to everybody. Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye.